Celebrities using babies to stay young.
But somehow you both look the same age there.
I suck baby's blood and put it on my face.
This was definitely hidden for a reason. TikTok is a platform with millions of users that post various amounts of content, but what happens when it gets too dark? But that's what we're gonna find out today. I jumped into the dark side of TikTok and you guys are gonna come along with me. And you're gonna wanna watch till the end of the video because what is exposed today was hidden for a reason. And don't watch alone, because this is gonna get terrifying. What's even scarier than the TikToks we're about to watch today is the fact that 75% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe for more scary videos. Thank you.
What if I told you Death Note wasn't just fiction? In 2006, Japan was shaken by a string of mysterious disappearances. Dozens of people, mostly known criminals, gone just days after their names appeared on an anonymous online list. Police called it the Book of Justice. Investigators traced the origins of the list to a quiet university student's house in Kyoto through different IP address pinpoints. Later on, all of the matches pointed to a certain student who was considered shy, introverted, but the genius of the school by his peers. He kept a black notebook filled with hundreds of names. Politicians, criminals, even local gang members. Each name had a date and method of disappearance written beside it. And here's the disturbing part. Almost every single one came true. At first, it looked supernatural, but detectives found something else. Each victim had been targeted in secret online forums, doxxed, threatened, and in some cases, poisoned or manipulated into accidents. The student, whose real name was Ichigo D. Uzumaki, believed he was cleansing society, exposing evil, and making justice look divine. He used fake profiles, insider data leaks, and psychological pressure to make every death seem like fate.
If this one is true, my advice would be don't have beef with this guy, because if you end up in that book, you're done. There will be no more you.
They put her body in an iron coffin with a porthole over her face. People would look inside, admiring her beauty even in death. For over 100 years, her face was preserved in the sealed chamber, until a visitor's child tapped on the glass and cracked it. Mold spores suddenly rushed into the coffin, and soon her skin was covered in fungus, leaving a white mask where her face used to be.
This 2-year-old girl passed away because her father left her in a car, went inside, and was watching The Hub.
Why'd you leave her in the car then?
This happened in 2024 in Arizona to this man named Christopher Schultz. One day he decided to get in a car with his daughter, who was 2 years old. He drove to a gas station to go buy alcohol. This guy was already before he even got in his car.
Damn.
So he's driving with his 2-year-old daughter, and he goes to this gas station, gets on, leaves, and he doesn't even pay for it.
That's not stuff right there.
The beginning of the day.
Yeah.
He drives back to the house, parks his car right in the driveway. He turns the car off and leaves his 2-year-old daughter in the backseat. And mind you, bro, it's like 109 degrees that day in Arizona.
Forgot she was in there.
No, he didn't forget.
Oh, wow.
Because he later on admits that he knew he left her in the backseat.
Whoa.
And he said he was going to run inside real quick and go play video games. That was the excuse he said.
Did you know several celebrities predicted, or even described, their own deaths before it happened? Rapper XXXTentacion once said, "If I die a tragic death, I hope I made at least 5 million kids happy." 2 weeks later, he was gone, shot in broad daylight while leaving a motorcycle dealership. Kurt Cobain, lead singer of Nirvana, wrote disturbing notes in his journals. In interviews, he hinted that he wasn't meant to live past 27, that he felt already gone. He took his own life just months later, at 27. Tupac often spoke about death like it was chasing him. His last album, titled The Don Illuminati, The 7-Day Theory. He was shot and died, and 7 days later. Jim Morrison of The Doors said, "I'm going to Paris to die." He left for France and never came back. Found dead in his bathtub at 27. No autopsy, no answers. Artists, icons, gone young, after seemingly knowing something was coming. What if they didn't predict it? What if they felt it?
Let's take a look at this photo. Captured outside of a small area from Chihuahua, Mexico, it is the only definitive proof we have of the Night Lady. Back in like 2009 to 2010, just outside of the city, it was plagued by something very disturbing. It was this woman. She was witnessed and sketched breaking into windows only at night where she would take children from their beds. There was only one child who ever survived an abduction when this woman was caught in the bedroom trying to take him from his bed, and she fled through the window. Ultimately, this child was able to give a witness account of the woman. What was learned is that it's believed she climbs on rooftops during the day and then waits until nightfall to crawl through a window. You wake up and at the foot of your bed you would find her staring at you with a knife in hand. Despite an extensive investigation, she would never be found, nor were the children, but we do have this. A teenage girl captured this through her ground floor window shortly after midnight of what is believed to be the Night Lady. It is the only photo we might have of her. So we got the old lady baby snatcher that stands on your roof before coming through your window. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, make sure you guys lock your windows. I mean, I don't think she's snatching me unless she's been in the gym or something, but...
What is a government cover-up that genuinely scares you? Project Sunshine was started in 1953, and it was created to study the effects of nuclear fallout on the human body. In particular, they were trying to research the radioactive isotope strontium-90, which I probably said that wrong. But this was thought to have the most serious ill effects on the human body, and scientists wanted to study it more. They decided that the best way to study the effects was to study on human bodies, like people who had passed on their bodies. But in particular, they wanted younger children because their bones were more porous and able to take more of this stuff in, from what I understand. But on January 18th of 1955, Dr. Willard Libby said that there was insufficient data because they were not able to get the bodies that they needed. In fact, he was even quoted saying that there was insufficient data and that he didn't know how to get his hands on these bodies. So he said, if anyone knows how to do a good job of body snatching, they will be serving their country. This would lead to over 1,500 samples to be gathered. Only 500 of them were used, but it would later come out that they had got these bodies in some seriously messed up ways. Many of these young bodies were taken from families in Europe and Australia and the United States without their parents' consent. One British mother came forward and said that she had lost her baby during childbirth, and doctors told her that she could not dress her own baby because it turns out that they had removed this baby's legs and shipped them over to the United States to be studied. So she was not able to dress her baby so that she wouldn't find out what they had done. By 1958, the study was brought to Belgium, and this is where they started studying the effects of nuclear fallout in the soil and how the soil would produce plants that cows would then eat and then we would consume, like the meat and the milk that came from this cattle. But regardless, these children were taken from these families without their consent, and this was a huge government cover-up for a long time. So what are your thoughts on this? Let me know down in the comments and follow for more creepy things.
Wow, our government is so thoughtful. They said, yeah, we need to do some research, so if you snatch people up and bring them to us, you're doing a service to your country. Yeah, that sounds so reasonable, right?
5 scary and disturbing facts you didn't know. At some point in your life, a stranger has thought about killing you. There are thousands of diseases frozen in glaciers, and global warming will eventually release them all. Did you know TikTok knows who your truest friend is? Your truest friend is the first person that appears when you click on share and then more. Clocks never appear in dreams because there is no sense of time. In the 1800s, dentures were made of deceased people's teeth. If you type rage in small letters and brackets, you will unlock a new TikTok emoji. During the witch trials in the 1600s, birthmarks, moles, or other skin imperfections were often considered witches' marks or devil's marks. Therefore, if you are a woman and have one of these, you would have likely been accused of being a witch and burned at the stake.
We need to talk about this photo. This photo was discovered by a single mother who recently bought a new phone. She came home, placed her phone on the table, and started watching TV. But soon after that, her son found the phone and asked to play with it. She agreed, thinking nothing unusual was gonna happen. But around 11 p.m. that same night, the mother decided it was time to go to bed. Strangely though, she found her son already in bed, which was very unusual for him. Normally, he'd want to stay up a lot longer. That's when she noticed her new phone was still in her son's hands. So she took it from him and unlocked the phone, at first only seeing some minor changes. He changed the background on her phone and took a few pictures around the house, nothing too alarming. But since the photos seemed random, she started deleting them, until she saw something that shocked her. This was the last photo on her camera roll, showing her son sleeping, but the photo was taken by someone else above him. Follow for more stories.
Let's talk about one of the scariest urban legends.
The story of Carmen Winstead. Carmen and her family ended up moving to Indiana because his father lost his job and he was searching for more job opportunities. She was just an ordinary girl, but she couldn't fit in. Moving to an unknown area and having trouble making friends was just very hard for her. Everything changed when she met 5 girls, who ended up becoming some of her best friends. However, they started spreading rumors about her, that supposedly she was seeing the janitor. Of course, this made her super upset. She got the courage to go confront the girls. After that, the girls started bullying her, calling her names and just dragging her. But one day the school had a fire drill. Carmen was standing next to a sewer, and the girls did the unthinkable. They thought it would be funny to push her in the sewer, and that's exactly what they did. Carmen had passed away and broke her neck. People at her school began to get some weird messages on MySpace from an unknown person claiming that Carmen's death was not an accident. She is now an evil spirit, and if you don't share this story, she comes for you.
This is literally that story I was just talking about in the other video. When I was in middle school, people would send this around and it would say, if you didn't share it, she's gonna come for you and kill you. And I was at 3 in the morning, I'm like, I did what it said. I sent it to 15 people. I was not getting taken out at 3 o'clock in the morning. And you know, thankfully I'd never seen her, so I guess it worked. But yo, whoever sent me that, you're messed up for that.
Did you know Michael Jackson believed someone was trying to kill him? In his final days, he told his family, lawyer, and makeup artist the same chilling thing. If anything happens to me, it won't be an accident. Despite that fear, he prepared for a massive comeback, 50 sold-out shows under This Is It. But behind the scenes, he was exhausted, dangerously underweight, and begged his doctor to help him sleep. That doctor gave him propofol, a hospital-grade anesthetic no one should ever take at home. On June 25, 2009, Michael was found dead. And that's where things get strange. One of his bodyguards claimed the security footage vanished before police arrived. His children said they heard whispers and footsteps the night before, but no one else was in the house. And weeks earlier, Michael allegedly wrote a note that read, "They want the catalog, they want me gone. I won't give them my soul." That catalog, worth billions, including the Beatles, Eminem, and more. But here's the part no one can explain. That note, it vanished, just like the footage, just like the truth, and maybe that's exactly how they wanted it.
Apparently, bro, in Bulgaria, there is a number that ended up getting suspended forever. Like, nobody can ever get this number.
The phone number.
The phone number. In like the late 90s or like the early 2000s, the company that was connected to this number, they started to observe weird things. And some people can say that it's just a coincidence or maybe because of the way some of these people live their lives. But bro, it was super weird because everybody that had this number died. The first guy who died was actually the CEO of the company, dude. There was another guy who was like this mafia boss dude or whatever. He ended up getting like set up by a guy who was like supposedly hella loyal to him and shit like that, which is weird as fuck. Set him up. He ended up getting like shot the fuck up and he had the phone on him. There was like a bunch of other people that had it too. And the last person that they said, I think it was in 2005, his case is still open to this day.
Damn.
Yeah, and then they just ended up being like,
and to this day, like, they won't give that phone number out.
No.
Did they ever say what the phone number was?
Yeah, it's 088888888.
Whoa.
So they can never give that number out again.
Wait. You have the number like written down?
Yeah.
Mike, you want me to call on here?
Yeah. What if you call the number?
You call it your phone.
You want me to call it?
I'm too fucking scared.
I'll fucking call it.
Oh shit! Mike's gonna call the number.
Like a scared this fucking thing.
I seen a clip of this interviewer. He was interviewing some like indigenous tribe.
Okay.
And the interviewer asked them, "Have you ever heard about an alien? Do you know what an alien is?"
Okay.
They were like, "No, we've never heard about that term." And then the interviewer pulled up a picture. He's like, "This." He's like, "Oh yeah, the underground people."
Whoa, what the?
How they take souls underground. I'm gonna show you the interview right now, and he said a very specific name.
E alienígena não tem.
Como?
Alienígena.
Alienígena?
Essa palavra você nunca ouviu falar? Alienígena.
Alienígena, não. Isso chama-se Moyushibu.
Moyushibu?
Sim. Mancunawabu.
Sério?
Mancunawabu é um que mora debaixo da terra.
É, eu falei, esse aí.
Que se virou formiga, hoje que nós chamamos Una, que é uma formiga grande, chama-se Mancunawabu.
Mancunawabu.
Que essa formiga também é perigosa, né, Bruno? Se as pessoas ficar mexendo com ela demais, ela leva o espírito da pessoa
pra
debaixo da terra também.
Cara,
pra voltar em cima é bem bom.
São seres que pode aparecer em luz divina, com luz do Nishpan. São seres que a gente pode ter o contato, que moram debaixo da terra.
Yo, first of all, shout out to the interviewer, bro. Whatever language that is, bro, it's good.
So I guess they're Brazilian indigenous people from
Bro.
the Amazon rainforest.
And have you seen that one theory that Benjamin Franklin might have been like a serial killer?
What?
Yeah, so back in 1776, I guess he lived in London at this one house, and then he moved back to America or whatever. And during 1998, they wanted to make the house into like a museum. So while they're renovating the place and they're digging it up, like they're going underneath it, bro, they find pretty much like a room with no windows in it with 15 skeletons inside of it.
What the
children skeletons.
Oh, what the fuck?
So hella people have theorized that he might have been a
Serial killer.
a murderer, yeah, and he killed hella people and hid their bodies underneath his house.
Yo,
he was damn near like Jack the Ripper or
I'm
something.
saying, bro, on the low.
Yeah.
Wait, Benjamin Franklin, was he the guy who did the kite shit?
Yes, he's on the $100 bill.
Oh my god, wait, the guy who did the kite is the $100 bill?
Yeah.
Why the fuck is he there? And he's a murderer.
Yeah.
Do you see what we're doing here in America?
This family was trying to communicate with the other side. This video has been circulating the internet many years ago. In the video, a family is trying to communicate with a relative when something unexpected happens before the video cuts abruptly.
Okay, this video is definitely fake. That is not real. There is no possible way that is real. That scared the life out of me though, but there's no way that's real.
Celebrities using babies to stay young.
Of Oprah's favorites, she says it's a miracle fountain of youth and her magic wrinkle cure. So I'm going to put a little on your hand.
I'll do that. Oprah did.
Yeah, Oprah did it. All right, so here, we're going to rub it right in.
How come it's red?
I'll show you in a sec, Steve. So this is made from growth hormones of human
Look,
horse.
the wrinkles has just disappeared. I can't even ball my hand up.
But so it's made from human foreskin. I'm sorry, Steve.
Boyfriend have been in a good relationship for quite a moment now. 2 years.
Yeah, for 7 years.
Now he's an early 30 and you're a late 50.
Yeah.
But somehow you both look the same age there. I mean, there's something to be said for being with a younger man.
I suck baby's blood. And put it on my face.
Well, it's this way in which one forces through microneedling. It's like a little roller with these. Some of you, I think many of you know it. And it pushes through the skin and ruptures the collagen, and then boosts it. You look like a burn victim for a day, but then it pushes.
What are you pushing into the skin, Sarah?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person. Far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean baby.
I leave the plasma on my skin for a day and then wash it off the next day. It gives me the most amazing smooth glow. I'm going to continue to do this forever. It's my preferred anti-aging method.
Okay, they're not even hiding it. This lady just said it's made from baby skin. Huh? I feel like there's plenty of other ways to get nice skin and look younger. Not use baby skin on your face. Like, what?
Celebrities that have unalived someone. Alec Baldwin was on the set of a movie called Rust, and he was filming a scene where he was using a prop gun. However, when he went to shoot the gun, there wasn't a blank in it, and it was a real bullet. And it hit the director, Joel Souza. Just a little bit later, she passed away, and Alec Baldwin was completely broken. In June of 2017, tennis star Venus Williams was driving her car when she rushed into an intersection when it was not her turn. when she was T-boned, and the car's driver survived, but her husband was 78 years old and he was sent to the ICU where he later lost his life. In 1987, Matthew Broderick and his wife were in Ireland. And if you don't know who Matthew Broderick is, he's the man that played Ferris in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. But anyways, he mistakenly drove on the wrong side of the road and it went head on with another car. Both the driver and the passenger lost their life, but Matthew Broderick and his wife were perfectly fine.
She took her mom's life on Facebook Live.
No me pellizques con tus uñas. Okay, you're my first. Yes, I promise you will sleep tonight. Infinitely.
On January 8th of 2024, 28-year-old Tananzin Beltran went with her mom, 55-year-old Olivia, to a Santa Rosa police station. Tananzin needed to go there to pick up her vehicle because it was impounded due to a police chase. While she was there, she was filming herself, talking weird, and waving around a pocket knife in front of everybody. An officer even said she seemed too mentally unstable to drive, but still let her go home. Once they got to their apartment, they were parked outside, and that's when Tananzin started live streaming. Her mom is scared and says Tananzin is hurting her ear, and Tananzin says she's gonna make her sleep forever and says she's gonna be her first. Around 5 p.m, Tananzin continued to live stream when she stabbed her mother, and horrified viewers immediately contacted police after what they just saw. When officers got there, they saw her standing on her balcony holding a knife and covered in blood. Her mother suffered multiple stab wounds and was rushed to the hospital, but sadly did not make it. Tananzin was arrested for murder but pled not guilty due to insanity, and her family is defending her. Her own sister said, "My sister's not a monster and she's not disposable. She is grieving too." They said she was failed by the medical health system and that she should receive mental health care, not prison. Her trial begins tomorrow, but rest in peace to Olivia. Let me know what you guys think, and as always, I'll keep you guys updated.
Some people live in a land of delusion, because what do you mean she's grieving too? It's her fault. This is like the most sympathetic victimization method I've ever heard in my entire life. That's like some dude comes into a town and wipes out all the people, and everyone's like, you know, he's not feeling very good either. You know, what he did was a lot on his mind. Oh, sorry. Yeah, let's take his feelings in consideration right now. That sounds great, right? No, what? People see it from the trauma side. They're like, oh, this person went through a lot, like, you know, but at the end of the day, what they're doing is still not right, and people don't learn if they're not being held accountable for what they're doing.
Her stomach started bleeding. So this is Chinese mukbanger. I don't know if you watch her, but it's not the person that eats a lot. Like, you know how they mukbangers have food on the table and they only finish the food on the table?
Yeah.
This mukbanger does timed mukbangs.
Like,
so
what,
she'll sit there.
Speed?
No, she'll sit there for 6 hours doing mukbangs. And
how much is she eating,
fam? A lot. And in the middle of her video, her stomach started bleeding.
Oh, she had to go to the hospital?
Rushed to the hospital, and the nurse kind of did like what you did.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, they fixed it and stuff, which is very, like, it was miraculous that they even fixed that.
They could fix it and just let her go?
Yeah, and they let her go, right? And they said, you have to stop doing videos. And the parents were like, listen to the nurse, stop doing the mukbang.
That's a livelihood, bro.
Yes.
That's a livelihood. You can't
so
just give
she was like, since this is my life, I have to keep doing it. So the next week does a 10-hour mukbang, live stream, presses the record button, sits there and eats, dies on camera.
Damn, bro. Just because you want to keep doing it?
Yes, because her stomach finally ripped apart.
Oh, what the fuck?
Crazy. And they did the autopsy. Fam, her stomach had uneaten food, so she was just swallowing stuff at one point. So she was swallowing pizza full, hamburgers, not chewing shit, ripped open.
Damn.
The robber doll might be crazier
what's the robber doll?
than the Annabelle doll.
Robber doll.
You've never heard of it?
Is this like part of the Conjuring shit?
Just a cursed doll, and it's in a museum in Florida, right?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you the whole backstory, right?
Okay.
So a kid named Eugene,
Yeah.
he got a present, like a life-sized human doll made out of straw from his grandfather. Since it's life-sized, Gene took it like wherever he went. Like everything he did it with the doll.
Like a best friend.
Yeah, exactly. And nothing happened until, like, I think a year into the doll being in his presence.
Yeah.
That the grandpa and the grandmother started finding out some weird shit that was happening around the house.
Like what?
So in the middle of the night, right, Gene's door would be like creaked open. So whenever they passed it, they would hear Gene having a conversation with himself.
Oh,
right?
shit.
It's like a full-on conversation. And this is the craziest thing.
Yeah.
There were two different voices.
Yo,
so Gene and someone else. One of the craziest stories, I don't know if I ever talked about this, the acid killer. So it was back I think 1960. He is a great guy because he would be polite. But behind the scenes, because he was so desperate for money, and he's like, okay, I have an idea. If I can rob people and I can disintegrate their bodies, how will I ever get caught? Like that's his mindset.
So you use acid to disintegrate people.
So what he would do is he would have a whole like workshop where he would have a steel barrel, right? And he would lure them into the workshop, just like I think it was like 5-6 people to start.
Yeah.
And as soon as he got into the warehouse, boom, shot them, put them in the barrel, put acid all on them, and then it would turn into the sludge.
Ooh.
And then he would pour it down the drain, right? So boom, he's like, yo, I'm getting free bread and there's no body. Who's gonna catch me?
So
right?
how did he get caught?
An old rich lady
Yeah.
that he targeted because he's like, okay, this is the jackpot right here. He lured her into the warehouse, but the lady told her friends where she was going before.
Yeah.
So once she did the whole same routine, lured her in, shot her, put her in the barrel, and put the acid on her. Right. The friends were like, wait. Didn't like this person tell me where she was going? I think she's missing.
Yeah.
Let's call the police, do an investigation where she lives. She lives in the same building that the guy has the warehouse in. So the police go in, boom, they find it. And obviously the guy's like, oh yeah, you guys can check out my warehouse. In his mind, yo, there's nothing here. The only thing that didn't get dissolved by the acid was the old lady's dentures.
Oh, so that's how they knew it was
At
her?
the bottom of the barrel, there was dentures, fam. So the police took it out and said, wait, it was an old lady that went missing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't this be her denture?
How is this even legal? There is a haunted house in Tennessee. It says haunted house, but it isn't. It's a torture house. There is no physical price to enter this house. However, there is an extremely long waiting list and a catch. Before you enter this place, you have to pass a physical and mental exam to deem that you are fit. Seems slightly extreme. Well, what's even more extreme is the fact you then have a 40-page waiver to sign. This is so that they can't be held accountable for your injuries, even accidental death. Which again might sound extreme until you realise why. These people have no limits. From locking you in coffins, pulling out your teeth, extracting your fingernails, hypnotising you, even using MK Ultra techniques, or drowning you until you are unconscious. So why in the right mind would anyone do it? Well, that's because there is a $20,000 reward. If you can make it all the way through the night, which is about 8 hours, you win the prize. But it's weird because nobody seems to have ever won the 20,000. In fact, some people think it's a lie. Would you do it for 20,000?
This isn't even a haunted house at this point. This is just legal torture. People just genuinely enjoy suffering. Because what do you mean you're going to go through this house, let them perform torture experiments on you, and damn near take your life? Oh, I'm going to get that $20,000. That $20,000 is going to pay for your therapy. Now you got no $20,000 and you got mental demons running around your brain hallways.
This father finding out that his daughter was and literally hurt him so much that it his life.
Like he had a heart. Something like that.
This lady named Dabia, she was on the street. She sees this little girl, Lola, who was 12 years old at the time, coming home from school. So she sees her, and this grown woman pretty much lures this girl to her apartment. She's hanging out with this little girl for a little while, and eventually she makes this little girl, Laura, down, take a shower, and then this woman, Dabia, started to her inside of this place.
Wow.
And then immediately after doing that, she just started her for like a couple hours to end it off her like over 50 times with a pair of scissors.
Whoa. This cult literally poisoned an entire town to try to gain political control of this county.
What the hell?
And it was this cult called Rajneeshi. I think they were named after the leader of the cult. I think his name was Rajneesh. Mind you, this cult already succeeded on doing this before. Not by poisoning a whole town, but they were actually able to take control of this other town in Oregon called Antelope, Oregon.
Really?
And they changed the name to Rajneesh, Oregon.
You're lying. Wait, when was this?
It happened in 1984. Their plan was they wanted to take control of this entire county. They planned on poisoning that entire town, Dales, Oregon.
Yeah.
With salmonella. They ended up getting like salmonella from like Seattle or something like that.
Yeah.
They went to like the main courthouse in Dales, rubbed it all over doorknobs and urinals and all types of stuff around the courthouse. And they got a bunch of the people sick who were actually going to start running for county. But then they realized like, okay, we got these guys sick.
Yeah.
But people could still vote for them. We got to get the voters sick now. They went to 10 restaurants in the area, sprayed salmonella all over these salad bars, all over these buffets, all over doorknobs, all over bathrooms in these restaurants. And in total, they got 751 people sick with salmonella in that town. But no one died, though. Surprisingly, no one died from this.
Yeah.
They just got super sick to the point where the FBI had to get involved and be like, why is so much people in this town
getting salmonella?
Getting sick off of salmonella, like something happened. Pretty much like the people that are below the leader ended up going off to Europe and running off to Europe. They end up going to their compound of the cults. They find hella vials of like salmonella, like pure salmonella all throughout their compound. So they're immediately like, all right,
it's you guys.
We got you guys.
Yeah.
So they end up arresting the leader and they go out to Europe and arrest all the people who try to flee from the United States as well.
Wow, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Famous toys banned for very good reasons. Clackers, two hard acrylic balls on a string that slammed together at high speed. They caused broken wrists, shattered windows, and even eye injuries before finally being banned. Did anyone in your family have these? Snack time Cabbage Patch Kids. This doll ate plastic food with motorized jaws, but it didn't stop there. It chewed kids' hair and fingers too, forcing a nationwide recall. Creepy crawlers, Thingmaker kids poured liquid plastic into metal molds heated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. It made cool bugs and plenty of second-degree burns. Safety rules didn't stand a chance back then. Sky dancers. Their spinning wings looked magical until they started hitting kids in the face, breaking teeth, and causing eye injuries. Over 100 incidents later, they were pulled from shelves. Gilbert U-238 Atomic Energy Lab. It literally came with real uranium, a science kit that let kids handle radioactive material. Sold for 1 year before parents realized how dangerous it was. Lawn darts, jarts. Heavy metal darts meant for outdoor fun until they caused thousands of injuries and several deaths. The government banned them permanently that same year.
The millisecond my hands left the rail and my legs cleared it, I had an instantaneous regret for my actions. And as I fell, the absolute recognition that I had just made the greatest mistake of my life and it was too late. I fell nearly 250 feet, 25 stories, closing in on 80 miles per hour, nearing the speed of terminal velocity in 4 seconds. In those 4 seconds, I said to myself, what have I just done? I don't want to die. God, please save me. And then I hit the water. Hitting the water from that height at that speed is like hitting a solid brick wall. Your body stops for less than a second, then a vacuum sucks you under 70 feet. Upon impact, I shattered 3 vertebrae, my T12, L1, and L2, and I missed severing my spinal cord by 2 millimeters.
I know I joke around a lot, but this is a very serious situation. People go through certain things and their emotions drive them to do things that they would not usually do. And when you're in that state of mind, you're not thinking properly. So if you're going through something, make sure you reach out to somebody or try to get some sort of help. Don't resort to doing something like this. It's not worth it. There's plenty of people out there that love you and care about you, even if you don't feel like they do. Just know there's always someone there to help you. Literally, you could reach out to anybody, talk about anything. Like even me, if you want to comment on the video, say whatever, I'll be there. You know, I got you. Y'all just stay safe, stay blessed.
This video shows popular streamer Jimena almost get trafficked.
Why is your things up?
Okay, so she's live, okay?
What the fuck? Wait.
You can literally see it in her face the moment she realizes something's wrong.
No. Wait, I'm gonna drive off. Bitch, drive. What the fuck? Bro. That's a wave.
Look,
That's
you see?
a wave for fucking
Pause
sex
it.
trafficking.
You see her windshield wipers are up? The thing that's crazy is that we literally made that video about signs. What they do is they lift your windshield wipers off of the windshield in order to get you to get out of the car and go and fix them. That's when you're vulnerable. Okay, now I want you to keep watching and pay attention.
That's a way for you to get out the car and fix that shit and someone stabbed me under the fucking car. Oh,
did you see that?
No.
Look. No. Did you see the shadow next to the car? Okay, look. You see it? You see the shadow move?
Oh hell no!
That's crazy, huh?
No. That's weird.
One of the most disturbing things that happen in a soccer match. Obviously, we both know how wild soccer matches get, especially if it's rival teams. Definitely. So in 2013 in Brazil, there was a soccer match going on. I would explain it more as like a Sunday league match, pickup game of soccer. And there was a guy, his name was Octavio Jordo da Silva Catanigi. He was Brazilian. He was 19 years old. He went out to go play in this match. So everything was just normal until he ended up getting injured in the game, which relegated him to being a referee. And then there was one point where the ref gives one of the players a yellow card. Obviously, he got mad. They ended up getting into an argument, which ended up leading to the ref giving the player a red card, sending him off the game. That triggered him even more, which ended up making him punch the ref, falling down to the floor. But then when he got back up, he pulled out a knife. The player multiple times on the field in front of everybody. The fuck? So all the players, whenever they saw this, they obviously stormed the ref. They tied him down, and while the ref was tied up, they were just waiting for an update on the guy. But unfortunately, the guy ended up dying on the way to the hospital. Fuck, bro. They ended up stoning the ref, but it doesn't stop there. The people off his body just with their pure strength. What the No fuck? weapons used. His head put stake. And also a disturbing thing that happened was, I think shortly after this incident, videos and video? Yes, there was a video and pictures of the medical workers.
Hiding right here. Hiding straight ahead. Hiding. Hiding in the back, right here. Hiding right here.
I'm starting to think that this is not the costume. This might be the actual her. No, I'm just kidding. You know, with the odd chance that she may one day see this clip, I'm just gonna say it's a costume because, you know, I don't want no beef with reptile lizard people. I'm good.
Morbid Facts, Part 788. In 2017, Tennessee Dr. Paul Locus was celebrating Halloween dressed as the Joker when he got an emergency call that one of his patients was in labor. Still wearing full makeup, green hair, and a purple suit, he rushed straight to the hospital to deliver the baby. The mother later said she couldn't stop laughing as her baby entered the world in the hands of a Batman villain. Here's a photo of a Turkish soldier whose face was severely disfigured by artillery fire during the Battle of Gallipoli in World War I. He likely didn't survive long enough for any meaningful reconstruction to be attempted. In the 1830s, Spanish-born criminal Diogo Alves terrorized Lisbon by robbing travelers on the city's aqueducts and throwing dozens to their deaths below, earning him the nickname the Aqueduct Murderer. After later a wealthy family during a botched robbery, he was caught in 1841. Scientists then severed his head and preserved it in formaldehyde for study, where it still sits on display at the University of Lisbon, eerily intact nearly 2 centuries later.
You know the Dr. Phil thing?
No.
The Turnabout Ranch? If you're like a bad kid on Dr. Phil, you would get sent to one of these ranches. Daniel Bergoli, you know the bad baby kid?
Oh,
The
yeah,
girl?
yeah.
She came out recently with like an 8-minute YouTube video, and she's saying like the first 3 days she was not allowed to shower or
Oh my
sleep.
God.
She would sit in a circle of rocks.
Yeah.
And then if she even went like this, the camp counselors would yell at her.
Yo, that's torture.
No, it is. There's a thing called reflection. You would send into an arena. There would be a horse, and you would just have to do laps and pick up horse while reflecting on your bad behavior.
What?
This whole thing is going down. Dr. Phil is not even a doctor. Like, so another person came out, Hannah. She's like, the first day I got assaulted by a male camp counselor. So that's why Daniel Bergoli is now trying to start a case with her because they silenced the Hannah girl.
Yeah.
So since she has more clout, she's trying to come out and say,
I really have to have her back on this because I truly believe that they did that. So, Dr. Phil, I'm going to give you from now till April 5th to issue an apology, not only to me, but to Hannah and any other child that you sent to Turnabout or any other program like this. And if you don't, I'm gonna handle things my way.
Dr. Phil is not actually a doctor? Bro, what? This whole situation is sick, but like, are we gonna skip past the fact that he's not actually a doctor? I did not know that. What's next? Dr. Seuss isn't a doctor either? See, now that one would actually mess me up, I'm not gonna lie.
An investigation has been launched after 300 piles of human remains were found in the desert outside Las Vegas. Sources involved in the operation believe the piles were probably dumped by a funeral home business. Nevada law does not ban individuals from scattering ashes on public land, but federal regulations forbid businesses from dumping cremated remains on federal land on a commercial scale.
Morbid Facts, Part 7. 7:44. After retiring from the NFL in 1990, Hall of Famer Mike Webster's life unraveled into a spiral of bizarre and disturbing behavior. Once celebrated as the Iron Man of the Pittsburgh Steelers, he spent his final years homeless or sleeping in his pickup truck, suffering crushing headaches, dementia, and paranoia. Friends and family later described shocking habits, urinating in his own oven, shocking himself with a taser just to fall asleep, and gluing his decaying teeth back together. At one point, he even carried around a briefcase filled with superglue, painkillers, and duct tape, using them as makeshift tools to hold his broken body together. By the time he died of a heart attack in 2002 at just 50 years old, Webster's decline had become a cautionary tale of the hidden costs of football. When doctors examined his brain, they discovered the first confirmed case of CTE in an NFL player, proof of how the game had slowly destroyed him from the inside out.
Did you ever hear that theory how the CIA, they have their hooks a lot into rap, movies, and pretty much just all culture that comes out in media?
CIA?
The CIA, yeah.
Word.
You know that?
Nah.
This is like some dangerous theory.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be careful with this one.
Okay.
But Cat Williams said it.
Yeah.
Cat Williams said it. So he said that what they did was the CIA funded rappers to talk about gangster rap and gangster lifestyle.
I think it's a real situation. That gangster rap was created by the government to encourage them to kill one another, and them, you know what them is.
You're basically saying that they were okay with making their lives more dangerous.
But think about it. A lot of the gangster rappers, they didn't go down or get proof of being even part of any illegal activity. So what does that mean? That means
Playing a persona?
they're playing a persona. But why would they play the persona?
To influence the people?
To influence the other people and make them more excited to be part of a culture that's dooming the black youth. Which is fucked up.
Yeah. That's some shit that Cat Williams for sure said. Yeah.
Cat Williams, yeah.
Yeah, because if you wanna kill people, fam, you give the drug to the community.
I mean, it would make sense because music is one of the biggest influences to people, especially of the newer generations. Whatever they're listening to becomes their interests and what they want to do with their life. So I feel like it's so much easier for them to push a bad message. I don't think any of these kids are going to listen to a rapper talk about eating your vegetables and going to school.
This joke on live TV became a chilling prediction of murder. Christina's Court was a courtroom show where Judge Christina Perez handled real disputes. However, one episode became memorable for all the wrong reasons. Comedian Sean Harris appeared to sue his ex-girlfriend for unpaid rent. The case was lighthearted, filled with jokes, until he aimed one at the show's bailiff. When Sean learned Renard had been married for 27 years, he laughed and said,
People in love, they yell at each other all the time.
Oh, that's true. Ask him, he's been married for how long?
Over 27 years.
Over 27
Look at him though, he look mad. You don't look happy, brother. You don't look happy.
The audience loved it, and the moment became one of the show's funniest exchanges. But a decade later, in 2019, a sheriff's deputy, Renard Spivey, was charged with murdering his wife, Patricia. This happened after an argument at their home. Police found her body in the closet. Spivey got a 14-year sentence. He will spend the rest of his life in prison for killing the woman he once called his happily married partner.
The 3 dirtiest burger joints in USA. Number 3, Burger King. Burger King's kitchen is nothing short of a disaster zone. They reuse cooking oil repeatedly, and the oil in the back kitchen fryers is as thick as black coffee. The burgers taste dry and greasy, and the patties seem like they were taken straight from the freezer and grilled. Number 2, Wendy's. The moment you walk in, greasy fumes mingle with a sour smell. Tables are sticky with sauce left by the last customer. The floor is tacky underfoot, and even the chairs gleam with grease. Flies buzz around the soda machine. Their patties taste bitter and burnt, like they've been charred and reheated. Before revealing number 1, please let me know in the comments section whether you ever eaten. Number 1, McDonald's. Some McDonald's kitchens resemble horror movie sets. Fries, tissues, and cola stains litter the floor. Old oil is reused repeatedly, and cleaning rags are charcoal black. Oil splatters cover the tables, and even the trays bear old stains. In some locations, ice machines have tested positive for excessive bacteria levels.
Morbid Facts, Part 760. In January of 2015, a walker passing through Squirrelwood Scout Camp near Doncaster, England, stumbled upon a sight so grimly bizarre that it made national headlines. Wedged headfirst in a rabbit hole was the body of 50-year-old Stephen Winfrey, a local hunter who had gone missing the day before after taking his dog out to catch rabbits. Investigators pieced together that Winfrey likely tried to reach into the burrow to grab his prey when his torso became trapped at an angle so tight he couldn't breathe or pull himself free. He eventually suffocated in the confined space, his legs still sticking out of the earth as if frozen mid-stride. When rescuers found him, his body was so firmly wedged that it took hours to dislodge, and soil had compacted around his face like a coffin of dirt. His loyal dog was found alive tied to a nearby tree but was trembling and dehydrated, having watched helplessly as its owner got stuck and slowly ran out of air. The coroner ruled his horrifying death an accidental asphyxiation. This man died after making the dumbest mistake of his life while camping out in Alaska. In 1981, American wildlife photographer Carl McCunn hired a bush pilot to drop him off in the Alaskan wilderness. He planned on camping by himself for 5 months to take photographs of wildlife, but would soon realize he'd forgotten to arrange for a return flight. As the weather grew colder and his supplies began to dwindle, Carl soon realized that he may never return home. At one point after he lost all hope, Carl was seen by an Alaskan state trooper plane but was ignored because he raised his fist in celebration. And a raised fist is known to be a signal that everything's okay. Referring to this incident, Carl wrote in his journal, "It's certainly my fault I'm here now. Man, I can't believe it. I really feel like a klutz. Now I know why nobody's shown up since." Sometime afterward, Carl ended up taking his own life by shotgun. Carl's campsite and corpse were found a few weeks later, along with his journal which detailed his harrowing final months.
This high school coach shot and killed one of his students in her own home, and then he did it to himself.
Jesus.
It was this year to the 17-year-old girl named Gwendolyn Smith. She just graduated in June. She was getting ready to, start getting ready for college, start planning on starting her life, bro. Randomly, one day, her old coach, Ryan List, comes to her house. He gets in there. He goes up to her as she's there, and he shoots her multiple times, like in her living room or something, and kills her in her own house. Then right after that, he turns the gun to himself and does it to himself as well. Hours go by. The girl, Gwendolyn's stepdad, ends up coming home. He finds his daughter in there, dead, and so is the other guy right next to her. So he sees both of their bodies as he comes inside the house. Her stepdad eventually calls the police. So police are like, all right, bro, we got to figure this out. They end up talking to some of the other players. They're talking to people that know them both, the girl Gwendolyn and the coach Ryan. And there was another girl who goes and says, this guy was insane, and he would try to ask them to have sex, ask them to like, oh yeah, we should go hang out over here and all this other stuff. Bro, mind you, it's a grown-ass man.
Yeah.
He wasn't even a part of the staff of the school. He worked at a local bowling alley, and the school just hired him pretty much. But he wasn't on the school staff.
Yeah. So he just put up out of nowhere. Because I guess she wasn't answering him. Lost his mind because she was not trying to give him no time. He eventually snapped, pulled up to her house, broke in, shot her to death. Jesus.
To like be with her or something. Killed himself as well inside of the house.
Dude, that's so insane, bro. Like, you're gonna take the life of a little ass girl because she don't want to be with you.
I know, and you're a grown ass man.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, you're a different type of guy.
That's so crazy.
Bro, what is up with you grown men being obsessed with these little girls, bro? Leave them alone. Like, as an old man, what are you doing obsessed with a girl in high school? Like, what? Like, there's just so much wrong with this situation. Like, how do you get to any point in your life where you think that this is okay to do and just, like, you feel comfortable doing this?
It is not a good thing that Bill Gates is this interested in the water.
Bill Gates is very interested in your water while everyone's distracted with indictments and celebrity BS. Bill Gates, BlackRock, and Nestle just quietly teamed up. Yes, Nestle. Same company whose chairman literally said water isn't a human right. And
not
now
a human
they're
right.
making moves to own it. This isn't speculation. It's already happening. Gates is buying up farmland that sits on major aquifers. BlackRock is pouring billions into water infrastructure. And Nestle? Still extracting millions of gallons while local communities run dry.
Insane.
They're not just buying land, they're buying access to rivers, lakes, groundwater. They're investing in the tech to monitor, track, and reroute where water flows and who gets it. This isn't about conservation. This is about control. Food already controls people, but water controls everything.
Yep.
You can live without oil. You can survive without power, but water? You've got days. They already run agriculture, finance, and energy. Now they want to own survival itself, and no one's stopping them.
How insane is this? This is going to sound a little cliche, but one day they will charge us for the air we breathe. As always, stay weird.
These two parents in California chained their 13 children inside their own home for years, starving them in secret until a 17-year-old escaped. Their names were Tommy Harrington, 57 years old, and Gwen Harrington, 49. To neighbors, they looked like loving parents, but inside their Paris home was a nightmare. 13 siblings ages 5 to 29 were locked away. Many were shackled to their beds. They were denied food, denied sunlight, forced to live in filth. Some were so starved, police thought grown adults were children. In January 2018, everything changed. A 17-year-old son climbed out of a window, found a discarded phone, snapped photos as proof, and called 911. His voice shook as he told police, "My parents are abusing us." When officers entered the house, they froze. Children chained to beds, the stench of human waste, starving faces staring back. The siblings had been hidden for years. They had never been to school, never seen a doctor, never known freedom. Tommy and Gwen Harrington were arrested immediately. In court, their children described lives of captivity and torment. In 2019, both parents were sentenced to life in prison. The case shocked the globe. The world called it a house of horrors, and one haunting question remained.
Hidden truths behind everyday nursery rhymes. The last one will blow your mind. Number 1. Rockabye Baby has the darkest origin of all. It was inspired by Native American mothers who would hang birch bark cradles from tree branches so the wind would naturally rock their babies to sleep. But English colonists who witnessed this were horrified and created the rhyme as propaganda to make Native Americans look like bad parents. The "when the bough breaks, the cradle will fall" ending was added deliberately to suggest that indigenous child-rearing practices were dangerous and deadly, turning an innocent lullaby into colonial-era racist propaganda that we still sing to babies today without knowing we're repeating 400-year-old hate speech. Number 2. Do you know the Muffin Man? Sounds like an innocent question about a baker, but it's actually about a serial killer who lived on Drury Lane in the 16th century London. The Muffin Man was allegedly a baker who would lure children to his shop with free muffins and pastries, then murder them and dispose of their bodies. The rhyme was created by parents as a warning to teach children never to follow strangers offering sweets, making it one of history's earliest stranger danger lessons disguised as a catchy song. Before I say the last one, make sure you hit that follow button to support the channel. Number 3. Humpty Dumpty was never actually about an egg. It was a coded reference to King Richard III of England, who was described as hunchbacked and fell from power during the Battle of Bosworth Field in 1485. All the king's horses and all the king's men literally tried to save him during the battle but failed, and his body was so brutally dismembered after death that he couldn't be put together again, meaning children have been singing about a real king's violent death and mutilation for over 500 years while thinking it's just a clumsy egg. Retry Claude can make mistakes. Please double-check responses.
If you live here, you might not be alone tonight. Across America, thousands of ghost sightings are reported every year, but some states are way more haunted than others. Let's count down the top 5 most haunted states in the U.S. At number 5, Pennsylvania. Gettysburg's battlefields still echo with the screams of fallen soldiers. Number 4, Ohio. From cursed bridges to haunted asylums, it's a ghost hunter's paradise. Number 3, California. The Queen Mary ship and Hollywood's silent spirits still wander the halls. Number 2, Texas. Ghost towns, prisons, and hotels where guests check in, but never out. And number 1, Florida. Home to the haunted doll of Key West and countless restless souls. But here's the scary part. New sightings appear every single week. So tell me, would you dare spend the night in your state?
This was the real-life Mean Girls, only instead of high school drama, it ended in unspeakable horror. When 12-year-old Shanda Scherer opened her front door one January night in 1992, she had no idea she was walking into one of the most horrific murder plots in Indiana history. Shortly after Shanda moved into town, classmate Melinda Loveless, jealous over Shanda's relationship with Loveless's ex-girlfriend, lured Shanda from her home under false pretenses with the help of 3 female accomplices. At a remote site called the Witch's Castle, they stripped, beat, and stabbed Shanda several times, inflicting painful but non-fatal wounds. Shanda, still alive, was forced into a car trunk and endured hours of torture, including burns from a cigarette lighter and a brutal sexual assault with a tire tool, causing severe physical trauma. The next morning, the group doused the conscious but weakened girl with gasoline and set her on fire, as she eventually died from thermal injuries and smoke inhalation. Her charred body was found in a field later that day, and the 4 perpetrators were arrested after one of the accomplices boasted to peers, Perhaps the most disturbing part of this entire case is that as of October of 2025, all of the perpetrators are now free, including the ringleader Melinda Loveless, who was released on parole in 2019.
See, and this is why I don't go out and make friends, because what do you mean these people pretended to like her, to set her up and torture her? And it's like, it's so sad because this girl probably was really excited for this and thought she was gonna like have a bunch of new friends and all this and that, and then they do this to her. Like, bro, what is wrong with these people?
Worst mistakes made by humans.
In 1986, over 1.5 million balloons were released into the sky above Cleveland, Ohio. The event was meant to break a world record and raise money for charity, a harmless, joyful celebration. But things quickly went wrong. Unexpected cold air and rain caused the balloons to fall back down, covering the city and nearby Lake Erie. Balloons blocked roads, shut down a local airport, and interfered with Coast Guard rescue operations. 2 missing fishermen couldn't be found because the floating balloons made the lake's surface impossible to see. Their bodies were discovered days later. What started as a celebration ended as one of the strangest and most avoidable disasters in American history.
Things is making this search so tough for the Coast Guard. Can you imagine trying to find somebody floating out here or even spotting a life jacket with all these balloons on the water?
Landed here instead of the planned 10%. Many of them were found on Lake Erie.
The biggest what-ifs in history. If Archduke Franz Ferdinand's driver hadn't taken a wrong turn in Sarajevo, World War I might never have happened, and the entire 20th century would be unrecognizable. The assassin had already failed and given up when the Archduke's car accidentally stopped right in front of him, giving him a second chance. That wrong turn led to a war that killed 20 million people and set the stage for World War II. If the Library of Alexandria hadn't burned, human knowledge could be centuries more advanced with ancient scientific discoveries that were lost forever in the flames. The library contained hundreds of thousands of scrolls, including works on mathematics, astronomy, and medicine that were never recovered. Scholars estimate we lost thousands of years of accumulated knowledge when the library was destroyed. If a single vote had changed during the 1876 presidential election, Reconstruction might have continued, and African Americans could have maintained their civil rights for generations. The disputed election resulted in a compromise that ended Reconstruction and removed federal troops from the South, leading to nearly a century of segregation and discrimination. One vote in the Electoral Commission could have prevented Jim Crow laws and changed the entire trajectory of American civil rights history.
Mark Zuckerberg, he bought hella land, I guess, all the way back in like 2016, I believe.
Oh shit.
And it was like basically like the size of like a football field or something crazy, probably way crazier than that. He built like this whole estate type of thing, and then under it is this huge underground bunker. What the bunker had a lot of people like, what the is you planning for, bro? The bunker has over 30 bathrooms, 30 bedrooms, and then these tunnels lead to like an underground society. Like basically like it's gonna have houses and stuff like that and all this other down there.
Bro's playing Fallout Shelter in real life.
I'm dead. Bro, what the is going on? And then there's also like an exit tunnel if you had to go back up.
Whoa.
And it's like via ladder, so you would have to like climb up a ladder to go through it. There's hella crazier. He has like a bunch of cars down there, and then this is the weirdest part about the whole thing. Apparently, bro, the guys that are working on this project, they all had to sign NDAs, and that's very rare for people to sign NDAs on projects that are like this. Even one of the guys, or a few of the dudes that posted about that they were working on the project, they ended up getting let off the project. They're like,
as soon as they start talking about it.
As soon as they even mention anything about it, they say they posted on their Instagram or something like, hey, I'm doing this thing for Zuck.
They got got.
They got got, bro. That nigga probably sent him a Guantanamo Bay or some shit. Nigga will never see that guy again. And then the even stranger part that is happening, a bunch of tech millionaires, they've been buying underground bunkers all over the world. There was already 10 installed in New Zealand in the last couple years.
Really?
10.
What the fuck are they gearing up for?
That's what we're saying.
Mark Zuckerberg is up to something. I just can't prove it right now. I just can't put my finger on it, but he's definitely up to something.
People who got married to objects. Amanda T. She married the ghost of a pirate. Mario Marchio. He got married to a cheeseburger.
This 17-year-old girl in 2021 was being cyberbullied to the next level, bro. And to her surprise, the person who was bullying her was her own mother.
Oh, no way.
I know it sounds insane, dude. Lauren Licari started receiving a lot of crazy messages from unknown numbers at the time that she didn't know who it was from. Death threats. These people are telling her to kill herself. These people are telling her that she's fat, she's ugly, she's a whore, she's a skank. They're saying things like about her boyfriend, and like, mind you, she's been with her boyfriend since she was like 13 or 12 years old. Getting messages from this number pretty much saying like, you know, your boyfriend doesn't care about you, your boyfriend really wants to be with me. The entire time, it's from her own mom. You know, because she's telling her mom, like, Mom, I'm getting these messages from these people, from this person that's just harassing me all the time. And
her mom is playing both sides.
And her mom was like, oh my God, like, I'm gonna tell the school. She's telling the school, she's helping her. Like,
she goes as far as to tell the school on herself.
Yes.
Mike, shut the fuck up.
I swear to God, bro. And it gets so bad, the FBI gets involved.
Really?
I swear to God, because it's coming from like multiple devices. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll block a number, another number will pop up and start texting her the same things. And it started getting really deep that this number, it started texting her personal things about her family that no one else would know, like recent family members who died, or, you know, things that are going on in her own like family life that other people wouldn't know for us. They end up tracking the IP addresses,
and they're all coming from the same house that the girl lives in.
and
No
they're
way.
all coming from the mother. There'll be times where she's in a car with her mom receiving the messages. So that means her mom is literally texting her
Right
daughter
next to her,
shit
yeah.
right next to her, bro.
Wow.
So the entire time, bro, her own mom was harassing her to the next level, sending her death threats, calling her fat, ugly, telling her to kill herself and shit. The FBI figured it out before she was able to solve her own problem, and bro, they ended up giving her like 5 years in jail.
Wow.
Yes.
Your own mother was hating on you this bad? Like, what is the point? Like, why was she doing this to begin with? Like, her job as a mother was to love and nurture her daughter, but she decided to become her biggest enemy. And it's the fact that she was hating on her and then comforting her at the same time. She was like, she would send a hateful message to her, and then she'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry that happened. Like, we're gonna figure this out. Like, what is going on in your brain?
Did you know the FBI's most wanted criminal was actually working for them the entire time? In 1975, James Whitey Bulger was recruited as an FBI informant to help catch the Italian mafia in Boston. But Bulger had other plans. He quickly corrupted his FBI handler, John Connolly, feeding him just enough information about rivals to stay valuable. While pretending to help law enforcement, Bulger was building his own murder and racketeering empire. The twisted part? He was using FBI intelligence to eliminate competitors and avoid prosecution. For 20 years, he turned the very system meant to stop him into his personal weapon. When the FBI finally moved to arrest him in 1995, a corrupt agent tipped him off. Bulger vanished, beginning a 16-year manhunt that put him second only to Osama bin Laden on the most wanted list. He had manipulated federal agents so completely that they became his accomplices. The hunter had become the hunted, but only after decades of making law enforcement his puppet.
I bet you Albert Einstein had them hoes. Hold on. Love interest.
That nigga said Albert Einstein had them.
Albert Einstein had several love. That nigga had them hoes, nigga.
Oh
Don't tell me about my motherfucking Isaac Newton, nigga. Had several love interests in his life, nigga.
Hey.
With his first wife being, bet she was a baddie. But he had them hoes.
Hey.
Oh, whoa.
Whoa. Now, hold on. What? Hold on, Zeke. What?
He
now?
later married his cousin. Oh, man. Ooh.
Hey, Zeke, restart the stream. Hey, Zeke, restart the stream. Restart the stream. Hold on. Whoa. That was a turn. Zeke, that was a turn. Oh, my God. That kind of like stunned me, nigga. Like, what?
You know, Albert Einstein definitely has some good ideas, but this was definitely not one of them. Don't date your cousin.
This is everything that happened on the news today, but it's going to be simplified in 60 seconds. Scientists just discovered a massive ocean that's beneath the Earth's surface, bigger than all the seas above land. They were recording waves, and they found out that the waves were being recorded under the surface too, which is how they found this ocean. There's a whole video on my page if you want to go look. Scientists finally just revealed what the bizarre mermaid that was discovered in 1906 actually is. So this artifact was found obviously in 1906, and nobody's been able to figure out what it actually is, but it was told to be a mermaid. They just found out that it's actually different pieces of different animals just conjuncted together, and so they're going to do some scanning and see what all animals are put in together to make this mermaid. It's fake. Scientists explain why you can't ever see stars outside a plane window while you're flying. There's two reasons why you can't see stars while you're on a plane. One of them is because of light pollution under you, and the other is because the moon is too bright. There's a lot of news today about scientists, but scientists are concerned that California's supervolcano might erupt due to over 2,000 earthquakes in recent years. A lot of these earthquakes haven't been big enough for you to actually feel them, but there's a whole video on my page about this if you want to go look. Scientists created a device that lets you play back your dreams. This one's really cool. Basically, it'll record your sleep, and then whenever you wake up, you can watch your dreams like a movie. Self-checkout machines across the US are reportedly beginning to ask for tips. A lot of people are upset about this because why would a self-checkout machine do that if you're the one doing the work? I do these daily roundups every single day, so make sure you add me and come back to me tomorrow.
Childhood rhymes that were actually about historical disasters. Humpty Dumpty wasn't actually an egg, but a massive cannon used during the English Civil War in 1648. The cannon was positioned on top of a church tower in Colchester to defend the city during a siege. When parliamentary forces attacked, the tower was hit and collapsed, sending the enormous cannon crashing to the ground where it shattered. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again, refers to the royalist soldiers who couldn't salvage or repair the broken weapon, leading to the city's defeat. Black sheep originated during medieval England's wool trade taxation system that devastated farmers and caused widespread poverty. The 3 bags full represent how wool was divided. 1/3 went to the king as tax, 1/3 to the church as tithe, and only 1/3 remained for the farmer who did all the work. The rhyme protests the oppressive taxation that left farming families starving while authorities grew wealthy. This seemingly innocent nursery rhyme is actually about economic exploitation and government greed that pushed thousands into poverty. Rockabye Baby describes the 1665 Great Plague of London, when entire families died and bodies were hung in trees away from populated areas to prevent disease spread. When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall, refers to the tragic reality of dead infants being discovered in makeshift tree cradles. Families would place sick babies in baskets hung from tree branches, hoping the fresh air would cure them, but most died alone in the trees. The lullaby memorializes one of history's darkest periods when plague killed so many that normal burial practices became impossible.
Did you see what happened with Elon Musk?
Which one?
Yo, they just dropped some...
Oh, the event in LA?
The recent tech film.
Yeah. I saw this.
They straight up have iRobot robots serving food, bringing you whatever you want, communicating, putting up peace signs, literally communicating like real people. AI, all intelligent fam. And this is where he's so smart.
Wow.
My God. Yo, I'm ready to buy like 20 of these fam and just let it work.
Oh, the cars, the self-driving?
The cars. So his plan is to pretty much combine Airbnb and Uber. Put it into one and create cars that you can buy out that will make you money and pretty much be a self-sustaining Uber that drives itself.
So crazy. The robots were serving people and stuff like that. You saw the video, right?
Yeah.
How it sounded exactly like a human.
Hey Optimus, what's up? How's it going, man? What do you think of the new Cybercab? Cybercab looks amazing. I know. I'm trying to get a ride. Dude, me too.
See, leave it in the comments right now. Also leave a like. But leave it in the comments right now. Are you guys afraid of what's gonna happen with it?
I don't trust Elon at all.
What was he doing?
There's a clip of him talking where he's talking about Neuralink, and he's saying that Neuralink can now take a snapshot. He's like, he compared it to like saving in a game. He was like, there's nothing in science that should prevent us from being able to take that same Neuralink chip and implant it into another biological being.
Oh my gosh.
But think about that. If he's creating robots that need human consciousness to operate, could he pull Neuralinks?
Like put the consciousness, if you will, into a robot. You live forever.
Couldn't you offer that as a job? Like somebody who doesn't have a job, they could like wear their glasses and like the remote, and you could be an assistant to somebody in LA. You're maybe not getting paid as much as because you're not there, and actually, but like you literally be walking around in their house doing chores, but you're in your house.
I bet you that's going to happen. Your artificial intelligence is not smart enough to do these things yet. Why not have people operate it? Like at least in like a Tesla station or something.
So it'd be like having a driver. Like if you just hire a driver.
5 fast food meats you should always avoid. Number 5, McDonald's. Their chicken nuggets are made from mechanically separated chicken, and their beef patties often contain added additives and preservatives. Number 4, Taco Bell. Their seasoned beef contains fillers like oats and other additives, making up about 12% of the total meat content. Number 3, Subway. Tuna here allegedly contains minimal actual tuna, with most being fillers mimicking tuna's texture. Number 2, Domino's. The pizza chain's various meats have an F food grade, raising concerns about topping quality. And number 1, Starbucks. Their meats are pre-cooked and reheated, often leading to a loss of nutrients and flavor.
I apologize if this is offensive, but if you eat tuna from Subway, it's kind of just natural selection. Like, you're kind of just asking to be wiped off this earth. There's a lot of places you can indulge in some of your favorite foods, but tuna from Subway, like, come on, bro. Like, that's like saying you're gonna get some fish from McDonald's. It's just like...
The 3 worst French fries chain in the USA. Number 3, Wingstop. Wingstop fries are one of the biggest disappointments in America. Soft, soggy, and coated with sugar like a fake dessert. Drenched in heavy seasoning, they taste more like greasy candy sticks than real potatoes. The soggy texture makes every bite a sticky, unhealthy mess that your body doesn't forgive. Some experts even call them the most fattening fries in America. Number 2, Five Guys. Famous for those giant, greasy bags of fries, but bigger isn't better. Cooked in peanut oil, they skyrocket in calories and fat. What's sold as fresh cut often ends up tasting like pure oil overload, salty, heavy, and impossible to finish without regret. Eating a large order can load your body with more calories than an entire Big Mac meal. Number 1, McDonald's. The most iconic fries in America, but also the most dangerous. Engineered with chemicals, preservatives, and enough sodium to wreck your health, they're designed to keep you hooked. What feels nostalgic and comforting is really a toxic addiction trap hiding in every golden bite. Some nutritionists warn that eating them regularly can age your arteries as fast as smoking.
America, Costco smoked salmon recall is now classified as possibly lethal. Yeah, you heard it, people. So smoked salmon sold at Costco late last year is being recalled due to a potential listeria contamination. Acme Smoked Fish Corporation, based in Brooklyn, New York, is recalling Kirkland's signature brand smoked salmon. Now, the FDA initially recalled the fish in October 2024 for possible listeria contamination, but after looking at the FDA website, it has been up to a level 1 recall, which means it is lethal. Now, the product was distributed to the Southeast Costco Distribution Center located in West Palm Beach, Florida, and Costco warehouse stores in Florida. Now, an Acme Smoked Fish spokesperson said all products were removed from the marketplace at that time. Now, although the fish has not been in stores for months, some customers may have frozen the product for later consumption. You're going to want to look at the best used by date of November 13, 2024, and the UPC code is also listed on the back of the bag. Now, listeria is nothing to mess with. If you are feeling these symptoms, get to a doctor immediately. Fever, muscle aches, headache, stiff neck, confusion, loss of balance, convulsions, diarrhea. As for people who are pregnant, miscarriages, stillbirths, premature delivery, and/or life-threatening infection of newborn infants. Oh, and you can pass away too. This is very important, people. If you have this in your freezer, throw it away immediately. Also, since we're not getting updates on recalls until February 1st, it's always a good idea to check the FDA lists. Just go to their website and you'll find everything there. Just be safe, people.
8 sodas you can only find in the US because they're banned elsewhere. The last one will blow your mind. Number 1, Mountain Dew was banned in Japan and Europe for decades because it contained brominated vegetable oil, a chemical also used as a flame retardant. It was finally removed from most sodas in 2023, but not before millions drank it for years. Number 2, Gatorade was banned in the European Union for containing yellow dye number 5 and number 6, artificial colors linked to hyperactivity in children. European versions had to reformulate, but in the US, it stayed exactly the same. Number 3, Fanta Orange is banned in some parts of Europe and Africa because of its high benzene risk, a carcinogen that forms when vitamin C reacts with preservatives in the drink. Number 4, Pepsi One, launched in the 1990s, was pulled from shelves in Europe and Canada for containing acesulfame potassium, a sweetener suspected of causing thyroid damage in lab tests. Number 5, Sundrop, a citrus soda popular in the southern US, was banned in several European countries for containing the same brominated oil as Mountain Dew and extremely high caffeine levels. Number 6, Dr. Pepper was once banned in parts of Scandinavia for its combination of artificial artificial flavoring, caramel coloring, and phosphoric acid, which were deemed unsafe for children under European food standards. Number 7. Sun-kissed orange soda contains yellow 6 and red 40, two dyes banned or restricted in Finland, Norway, and the UK Europe's version had to replace them with natural fruit coloring. Number 8. And the most surprising of all, Coca-Cola itself has been banned in Cuba and North Korea since the 1960s, but for completely different reasons, political sanctions. It's the one soda banned not for what's inside the can, but for what it represents.
This is the worst thing that could happen to you during surgery. This happened in 2019 or I think 2018, somewhere between that time. And one day this lady goes to a hospital. She had pancreatic cancer. So she goes to get surgery done one day, and right when they start operating on this lady, she on the operating table. Whoa. Right? And they're all hecka confused. They're sitting there like, whoa, because she literally got engulfed in flames. This lady, one of the nurses runs over, she grabs like a bucket, fills it up with water, he just splashes it on her. They end up dousing the flames. This 66-year-old woman ends up pretty much dying, bro, from like third-degree burns.
Yeah, for sure.
Throughout her whole body. And her family, a bunch of other people are so confused of how this can even happen on an operating table.
Yeah.
And pretty much what they ended up finding out is right before they were going to perform on her, they rubbed down her body, like parts of her body, with a like disinfecting wipe. And they pretty much, and then they ended up using, usually when doctors will do surgery, they'll use like a plastic scalpel.
Yeah.
They use an electric scalpel. And pretty much the minute they touched her skin, it engulfed her whole body.
The same people that are supposed to save you just set you on fire? This is definitely the first time I ever heard this. Rest in peace.
This guy, Tim Bleefnick, he was on an episode of Family Feud with his family, right?
Yeah.
This dude's answer to Steve Harvey's question was kind of funny in the moment, but knowing what he did 2 years after the episode aired just makes it so eerie.
What's the biggest mistake you made at your wedding?
Honey, I love you, but said I do. Not my mistake. I love my wife. I'm gonna get in trouble for that, aren't I?
So like at first you think like, oh, it's a little funny thing, you know, because he said, what's the worst thing you did at your wedding? And he said saying I do.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, oh, it's a little funny joke. A lot of his friends thought, you know, it's a funny joke. 2 years after this episode aired, that dude ended up his wife.
Dog.
On February 23rd of 2023, Becky Bleefnick, which is Tim's wife, her father found her at her home. She has been 14 times. And at first, no one really knew like what happened, because in this moment, her and Tim are going through a divorce. So their relationship is a little rocky at this time. Becky's sister, months or weeks before this happened, Becky had texted her sister, like, if anything ever happens to me, make sure y'all have Tim as suspect number 1, because he's the only person that would want to hurt me.
She said that
she literally
before
said
it happened.
Before it happened. And the way that the person got into Becky's house was they broke into her son's window with a crowbar, walked over to her room where she was at, shot her 14 times.
Wow.
And the police were so baffled because they found a bunch of like plastic bags, like scraps around her dead body. So they're like, what the hell, that's hella weird. They go and ask the neighbors and people around the neighborhood if they have security cam footage of that night, if they could see it. They found in the neighbor's security cam footage a weird guy walking around Becky's house. And then they see a dude riding around in a bike with no reflectors on it around her neighborhood. This is where it starts to get crazy. As soon as they have Tim as suspect number 1, they look into this dude's history, like on his internet and stuff. They find that he was on the Facebook Marketplace looking for a bike that has no reflectors on it.
He's cooked.
Then, a block from where he lives, they ended up finding a blue bike with no reflectors on it that was ditched in some bushes, just like the ones in the security cam footage in front of Becky's house.
He's cooked.
They then also find a crowbar in his basement.
Why do all these people hate their wives? Like, what is going on with these people? In the last video, the dude was on TV. He ended up killing his wife too. Like, I promise you, love is not that bad. Maybe get your wife some flowers, you know, take her out to dinner. Not take her off this earth.
What the hell is going on in our oceans, y'all? Why the hell do we got an orange shark? They just discovered a white lynx that look hella mythical. Now a fucking orange shark. If this ain't no sort of sign, I don't know what is then. Fool, just the other day I seen a motherfucking meteorite. Or, as they say, a shooting star. I don't know what the fuck is going on right now. Can somebody explain this shit? Next thing y'all know, we about to have a purple elephant or some shit.
Did you guys see there was a Chucky doll arrested in Mexico? And no, this isn't a joke, it's real. In Monclova, Coahuila, Mexico, there was a man using a Chucky doll with a knife to terrorize others and get money out of them. The police in Monclova say that the man was very much intoxicated. They handcuffed and arrested not just the owner of the doll, Carlos N., but they also arrested the Chucky doll. They were both sent to jail and charged with disturbing the peace and putting others' integrity at risk. As you can see, Chucky had his own mugshot taken. Some of the officers were seen laughing throughout the incident in videos and pictures that went viral. The female officer who put the handcuffs on the Chucky doll was later reprimanded for not taking her job seriously. The man who owned the Chucky doll, Carlos N., was later released according to local outlets. And as for the Chucky doll's whereabouts, they are currently unknown. But what do you guys think about this?
You guys realize how much danger we were in, that Chucky was really on the streets? Yo, this lady's a hero. She saved us all. I mean, y'all seen the movie. You guys don't even realize what could have happened. I'm joking, by the way. If you didn't, you know.
6 technology that spies on you never knew. The last one will blow your mind. Number 1. Smart TVs listen to your conversations constantly and send voice data to manufacturers who analyze what you watch and say for targeted advertising purposes. Number 2, fitness trackers know when you're intimate based on heart rate and movement patterns, and this data is stored on company servers accessible to hackers and government agencies. Number 3, modern cars track every location you visit, and some insurance companies offer discounts for installing monitors that record your driving habits, selling the data to advertisers. Number 4, credit cards track not just what you buy, but when and where you buy it, building profiles of your behavior patterns that banks sell to data brokers. Number 5, email services scan every message you send and receive to build advertising profiles. And Gmail even reads your emails to suggest calendar events and purchases automatically. Before I say the last one, make sure to hit that follow button to support the channel. Number 6, smartphones track your location 24/7, even with location services turned off, using cell towers and Wi-Fi networks, building a complete record of everywhere you go every day. America's darkest secrets you were never supposed to know. The last one will blow your mind. Number 1. The Tuskegee syphilis experiment ran from 1932 to 1972, where the U.S. government deliberately withheld treatment from 400 African American men with syphilis. The U.S. Public Health Service told these men they were receiving free treatment for bad blood, when in reality they received no treatment at all, even after penicillin was discovered as a cure in the 1940s. The government wanted to observe the natural progression of untreated syphilis, essentially using human beings as lab rats for 40 years, until a whistleblower exposed the program in 1972. Number 2. In 1945, the same year America dropped atomic bombs on Japan, the U.S. government began secretly injecting American citizens with plutonium to study radiation effects. Scientists administered doses of the highly radioactive chemical to 18 people over 2 years without their knowledge or consent, including hospital patients who thought they were receiving medical treatment. These human radiation experiments continued for decades, with the government exposing thousands of Americans to dangerous levels of radiation through various secret programs. Before I say the last one, make sure you hit that follow button to support the channel. Number 3. Operation Northwoods was a declassified 1962 plan where the U.S. military proposed carrying out false flag terrorist attacks on American civilians to justify invading Cuba. The Joint Chiefs of Staff actually presented plans to President Kennedy that included bombing American cities, hijacking planes, and staging fake attacks to blame on Castro's government. Kennedy rejected the proposal, but the fact that America's top military leaders seriously planned to kill their own citizens shows how far the government was willing to go during the Cold War.
Dorothea Puente. On November 11, 1988, police began digging in the yard of a boarding house in Sacramento, California, and what they found shocked everyone. The bodies of 7 elderly and disabled tenants buried beneath the garden where their landlady, Dorothea Puente, grew her roses. Puente, a 59-year-old woman, had been running a boarding house for elderly and mentally disabled people since the 1970s. She acted like a caring person who helped society's unwanted, even getting praise from local officials and social workers for taking in people nobody else would house. Her trick was both simple and terrible. Puente would offer rooms to weak people, and then she would help them get social security checks to have the money sent to her address. Once the checks started coming, Puente would put drugs in their food or drinks, wait for them to die from overdoses, and then bury them in her yard, while still cashing their benefit checks for months or years. The search of her property began when social workers became worried about the disappearance of Alvaro Montoya, a mentally disabled man who had been placed in Puente's care. When police questioned Puente, she calmly let them search her property. After finding the first body, police left Puente alone, and she simply walked away, running to Los Angeles, where someone spotted her at a bar, and she was arrested days later. In total, 9 bodies were found buried on Puente's property. Her victims were between 51 and 78 years old, and most had been killed with a mix of sleeping pills and other drugs. During her trial, it was shown that she had stolen over $87,000 from her victims. In 1993, Puente was found guilty of 3 murders and sentenced to life in prison with no chance of release. She claimed she was innocent until her death in 2011 at age 82, saying the tenants had died naturally and she just buried them to avoid paperwork.
I feel like if these people took the effort they put into doing these crimes into something else, they would make more money than whatever they're doing. There's plenty of better ways to live a successful life than to just take people off the earth and steal their money. Like, that is like as bad as it gets. Because even then, like, if you're getting that money, it's at what cost?
Dude, this video is insane, bro. And it's a police body cam footage. And the person that this police is arresting is the girl who voiced Pocahontas, Irene Bedard. There's a part in this video when she runs into the hallway. Yeah. Just pay attention to her feet and the shadow.
Does this work?
Pay attention to the floor where she's running.
Does this work?
I don't know what that is.
It's your cell phone.
I don't know what that is.
Whoa! What is that?
This is 100% police body cam.
This is police body cam footage.
This woman went to the absolute extreme just to cheat on her husband. In 2016, California woman Sherry Papini suddenly vanished after going out for a jog. Just as her husband and 2 little kids were losing hope, 3 weeks later, Sherry was miraculously found alive by the side of a highway. She was tied up with a bag over her head, had a broken nose, was badly emaciated, and covered in bruises. Sherry claimed that 2 Hispanic women had abducted and tortured her, but she was never able to see their faces. The local community quickly rallied behind her, even offering donations to aid in her recovery. But behind the scenes, law enforcement was skeptical of Sherry's claims. They eventually found DNA on her clothing that matched her ex-boyfriend James Reyes, who had no choice but to admit that the story was a complete hoax. Papini had faked a kidnapping, severely beat herself up, and lied to federal agents, all just to spend time with her ex-boyfriend without her family finding out. Her husband divorced her the day she was arrested, while she was sentenced to 18 months in prison in order to pay $300K to the state.
There's another story that I seen where this guy was literally missing for 22 years. The only reason why they found him was a picture on Google Maps. Oh shit. Yeah, and it was in a nice ass suburban neighborhood. So I'll show you the picture after. But the day he went missing, he told his girlfriend that he was gonna go to the club, right? So he was driving, blah blah blah. When he came back, no missing person alerts, no Amber alerts for this guy. His family was like, okay, we're just gonna, to be honest, he probably got abducted. We're not gonna do anything about this because no one's gonna find him. There's no reports on him, right? So one day this guy, randomly 22 years after, this guy's on Google Maps and then he's looking at this little lake with a bunch of suburban houses, right? And then he sees a little car by the side of the lake and he's like, okay, I'm gonna zoom in, tilt my head a little, and he's like, okay, what the heck? I'm gonna report this to the police. This is weird, right?
Yeah.
So police come and they pull the car out and it has a bunch of algae, right? They flip the car because they have something to pull the car out and they flip it, right? In the car, there's still a skeleton with the seats still buckled.
Oh shit, that's
you know
crazy.
what I mean? Holy, look, this is so weird because it's like, why would people not see this? Like, this is the sidewalk and this is the car that's been there for 22 years.
Damn,
Like,
and just
people-
nobody paid
yeah,
attention to it.
like-
Morbid Facts, Part 783. On October 19, 2025, 18-year-old Kimber Mills was celebrating with friends at a bonfire in Alabama when 27-year-old Steven Tyler Whitehead showed up uninvited, a stranger to nearly everyone there. Witnesses say he began harassing people at the party before pulling out a gun and firing into the crowd. Kimber, who had never even met the man, was struck in the head and leg. Her friend Silas McKay, who intervened and tried to protect her, was shot several times but survived after multiple emergency surgeries. Kimber was rushed to UAB hospital in critical condition, but her brain injuries proved irreversible. As her family made the heartbreaking decision to remove her from life support, hundreds of classmates, teachers, and nurses lined the halls for her honor walk, a silent tribute to a girl whose compassion lived on through others. Her heart went to a 7-year-old boy and her lungs to another patient in need, an ending that reflected the kindness she'd hoped to share as a future nurse. Whitehead has been charged with murder and multiple counts of attempted murder, but has yet to fully explain why he opened fire that night, leaving a community completely shattered by his senseless act of violence.
Gordon Ramsay just posted a cryptic message to his socials that's a little concerning. GeoGuessers like Rainbolt have all but confirmed that the view outside of his window is a runway right beside Area 51, with flight attendant Laisha even mentioning she was on that same flight with Gordon himself, which landed in the middle of the desert in Nevada, exactly where Area 51 is supposed to be. But I noticed a little something that no one else brought up. By now, everyone's seen this weird little pan sitting in his cup holder. And it's tiny, way too small to be used by any regular human, so what is this for? I zoomed in closer, applied some light filters, and noticed a pattern of hexagons all over it. I mean, clearly this is just his cookware brand, Hexclad, right? But oh, it goes much deeper than that, because I came across this leaked classified document featuring the exact same hexagonal pattern, which also claims we never made this technology. We recovered it from UFOs. Non-human metallics. This all came out in 2016. Coincidentally, the same year Hexclad introduced this technology to the world. Whatever's going on here, the questions still stand. Who or what is this tiny pan for, and has Gordon really been working with classified alien technology this entire time?
Gordon Ramsay has been cooking for aliens? Nah, I'm playing. Yo, honestly, if he really was in Area 51, like this seems like a bit of a reach, but if he actually is in Area 51, what is he cooking up? No pun intended. That was low-key a good one though. You gotta give me that one. That was a good one. That was a good one. But yeah, I don't know what Gordon Ramsay's doing out there. He needs to, I don't know. We do not need an alien Gordon Ramsay collab.
10 serial $100,000 reward.
This woman danced with a demon. This video was uploaded to the internet whenever YouTube was a baby. In the video, you can see the woman notice that the man she's dancing with is not human. What is strange is that the video surfaced in the internet again after so many years. How long ago do you remember watching this video?
Explaining photos with a disturbing backstory, part 7. This NBA card hides 2 killers in plain sight. In the late 1980s, a simple Mark Jackson basketball card captured something horrifying. Behind him, the Menendez brothers were there. The same men who killed their parents for their fortune. Nobody noticed at the time, but in the 1990s, one of the brothers confessed, which gave them life in prison. Among every NBA game they went, they ended up in one that was used for this card, showing their pure evilness. If you like this video, please make sure to follow and share this with someone. It'll help me a lot. Thank you, and have a nice day.
This lady is absolutely nasty as hell for what she does with her husband's 15-year-old son. Bro, this is so crazy to me, and I did not believe it. I was like, what is even going on? But apparently this happened last year, and it was in Florida. Her name was Alexis Von Yates, and she was married to this dude for about like 6 years. One day, the husband, pretty much his son, was supposed to be coming down to like stay and visit him for a little bit, right? Because I think he like lives with his mom. So he comes down, and at that time, the dad had to end up working, so he's gonna be working late one night. So he ends up going to work. She was like, yeah, it's all good. Like, pretty much I'll babysit. Pretty much. Like, I'll, I'll hang out with little bruh for a couple hours, whatever the case may be. They hang out. They're at the crib. They're, like, playing games. They're doing this. They're doing that. And then they end up watching a movie towards the end of the night. And as they're watching a movie, she randomly tells this kid, I haven't had that 2 weeks. Whoa. Long story short, bro, the dad ends up coming home randomly, and he catches them doing it on the couch. Wow. And he instantly is like, what the hell is going on here? She ends up trying to reason with the dad, and this is what she has to tell him. She said, and I quote, "You can't blame me because that's probably what you looked like when you were younger."
This man was pure evil. During the late 1970s in rural Alabama, there was a man named Clint Orson who owned a small roadside motel called the Blackwood Inn, just 15 miles from the nearest town. Travelers loved it. Cheap rooms, warm coffee, and Clint's famous homemade chili. Locals said he was polite, always smiling, the kind of man who could fix anything but his own loneliness. In the fall of 1978, a salesman named Jack Rayner stopped there for the night. He was heading to New Orleans for business. When he checked in, Clint asked, "Anyone know you're traveling this way?" Jack laughed and said no. That night, around midnight, Jack woke up to the sound of humming in the hallway. It was an old country tune. Through the crack under the door, he saw a pair of boots standing still. Then the doorknob turned. Jack ran for the window, broke the glass, and sprinted into the woods barefoot. By morning, he reached the highway, bloodied and shaking. Police searched the motel immediately. Inside the kitchen freezer, they found several large black bags. The shape inside each bag looked disturbingly familiar. The officers froze. No one said a word. When they asked Clint what it was, he said, "That's my secret recipe."
You guys know the guy that killed Tupac, how that was just discovered? Yeah. Same as like Keith D. He just came out in court and said that he was paid $1 million in 1996. Guess who paid him?
Bill Gates!
No, P. Diddy.
P. Diddy.
What?
Yeah. He's been rumored this whole time, dude.
So now there's going to be an investigation, full-on investigation, because Keith D said that P. Diddy paid him $1 million in 1996 to kill Tupac.
Could you imagine if that comes out true?
Oh my gosh.
Me and him were close. That was one of those things where it's like you never thought was going to get saved. It's kind of like a John Benet Ramsey thing.
Yes.
It's like this is no one's ever going to know. So when I saw that, I was like, how can they be sure? But this dude apparently had like newspaper clippings of of the crime and everything. I'm like, and that isn't obviously there's a lot more to it, but it's like that's creepy alone.
Yeah. You guys want to hear a history fact that maybe not feel so good about our independence? So this professor of history talking about the Revolutionary War, and there was no reason for the British to surrender because their army was vastly bigger than ours. But one of the reasons they surrendered was in 1763, 10 years prior to Declaration of Independence, the British signed the Royal Proclamation.
This photo is of the most dangerous man on earth, the Cincinnati Crawler. This actual photo was captured by the family back in 1974 after this man entered their house, and escaping shortly after the photo was taken. So in 1974, the Johnson family lived in Cincinnati. It was a quiet neighborhood, they had a nice house in the middle of the countryside, not much went on here, until they started noticing very strange things happening. Their 14-year-old daughter would regularly say that she would see these eyes outside of her window at night, peering in, staring at her. Along with most nights the sounds of banging and footsteps, which they thought was just rats or some kind of pipes. Till one night, their youngest son was laying in bed, ready to go to sleep. The family dog would regularly come in to sleep with the young boy and just stay on his bed, but he felt the dog jump up onto his bed slowly and went to pet it. But it wasn't the dog. That was when he spotted this guy at the end of his bed, just standing there. After everybody had spotted him, the man ran out of the house and has still never been found. Though reportedly 4 other young children had gone missing in this area at the
We've seen this one before, but like I still can't get over this. So you're telling me you see this dude and instead of running, you take a picture of him. And then also, how is this dude not identified? Look how tall he is. I mean, in the middle of nowhere in Cincinnati, a damn near 7-foot man that just walks around and nobody just puts 2 and 2 together.
Did you hear about the Itaewon crowd rush thing that happened?
No, what is that?
On Halloween, everyone wanted to go to Itaewon, and their alleyways are super thin.
Yeah.
And everyone starts clumping in one alleyway. They're crying, they're screaming. They're packed into this alleyway like sardines, fam. There was a girl who was turning purple in this crowd.
Oh,
So
shit.
she was getting suffocated, fam. The streamer, the way he got saved, there was people on like this little ledge on the roof.
Yeah.
And luckily he got pulled up. But you know how much people passed away in that tragedy during Halloween?
There's so many people, and I had to like turn around and I told the crowd, "You can't come this way. People are dying." I lost my friend.
Fuck, bro.
This was the moment Diana Lovejoy collapsed in court after being found guilty of plotting to kill her ex-husband, Greg Mulvihill. Locked in a bitter custody battle over their young son, Lovejoy feared losing her boy and conspired with her firearms instructor, Weldon McDavid Jr., to eliminate Mulvihill. In 2016, she lured her ex-husband to a remote dirt road where McDavid ambushed him with a rifle. Shot in the torso, Mulvihill survived by playing dead and calling 911. Investigators traced the attack back to Lovejoy and McDavid, and both were convicted. She received 26 years to life, while he was sentenced to 50 years. Doctors across the world have documented shocking cases of patients arriving in the ER with objects lodged deep inside their bodies. But one of the strangest in history involved a 5-pound dumbbell. The patient arrived in agonizing pain but refused to explain how it got there, forcing surgeons to perform a delicate operation to extract it. Britain's most prolific executioner, Albert Pierrepoint, spent 25 years hanging up to 600 criminals, but it was only his side hustle. By day, he ran a pub where locals drank with him, knowing full well he was also the hangman. In 1950, one of his own regulars, a man he nicknamed Tish, was convicted of murder and sentenced to death, and it was Pierrepoint himself who placed the noose around his neck and carried out the execution.
This was Satan himself that had somehow invaded this 13-year-old's body. Ronald Edwin Hunkler, he could possibly be possessed by the devil himself. One night, Roland went to bed, and his entire bed frame and mattress began to shake violently. Later that same night, he woke up to the sound of a screaming voice that sounded less like a human and more like a demon.
Roland's parents are desperate for help, so they reached out to a priest named Father Edward Albert Hughes from St. James Parish. And while meeting with Roland, Father Hughes noticed that the temperature in whichever room Roland was in often became very cold. And when Roland would fall into a convulsing trance, the room would become very hot. He also witnessed a telephone fly off a desk without anyone touching it. He's like, there is something dark within Roland here.
Father Hughes was eventually convinced that this was Satan himself that had somehow invaded this 13-year-old's body. So he ended up giving the family some holy water and blessed candles for the time being, and Roland's mother tried to use them, but the holy water flew across the room one evening, smashing against a wall, and the blessed candles would be mysteriously blown out when lit. Father Hughes then contacted Archbishop Patrick O'Boyle from Washington, D.C. to convince the Archbishop that Roland needed an exorcism. Father Hughes took Roland to the psychiatric ward in Georgetown University Hospital. Reportedly, he underwent psychological and physical testing here, but Father Hughes also attempted an exorcism while Roland was restrained in the bed. Father Hughes began the first exorcism, but things quickly took a turn for the worse, and Roland was able to slip out of his restraints. And this is crazy. According to an eyewitness in the Georgetown Hospital, Roland grabbed a sharp spring from the hospital cot that he was resting on, and he took that sharp pointed end and sliced open Father Hughes's arm. He had dragged the pointed end from Father Hughes's shoulder all the way to his wrist, and this wound required 100 stitches. That's crazy.
This woman put her friend with the amount of eye drops.
I didn't even think eye drops could be legal.
No, for reals. This woman, her name is Jessie Krzyzewski. This woman, Jessie Krzyzewski, is a caretaker to her friend Lynn Hernet. Her friend is like 60-something years old. She's older. She was taking care of her for the longest time. In October 2018, Jessie ends up going to Lynn's house, and she finds her unresponsive, sitting in a recliner chair with a bunch of medicine like crushed up on her chest. She calls the police, and she pretty much says, you know, I found my friend here, I'm her caretaker, I found her unresponsive on her recliner, and she has like a lot of her medicine like all over herself, and I think she OD'd and her own life.
Whoa.
The police come to take her body, and for the most part, it looks like she OD'd on her own medicine.
Yeah, like the story checks out.
Yeah, they end up doing an autopsy check on her.
Oh man.
The medicine that she takes, she didn't OD off that. She OD'd on the same component that is in eye drops.
Really?
Yes.
As if she was drinking it.
Yes. What they later find out is her friend Jessie was spiking her drinks around her house with eye drops.
All of the drinks she was drinking.
Like water, whatever she was drinking, she would pour hella eye drops inside of it. And slowly, she ended up her friend and the woman she was taking care of.
Really? So this thing was just slowly...
Yes. And the reason why she did it was for a financial reason, to get her insurance money from her friend that she was taking care of.
Behind me is Joe Metheny, and he would grind up humans as hamburgers and sell them at his stall. What else could Joe Metheny be selling? He was selling meth. He would lure women in the promise of giving them drugs and then grind them up, dismember them, and sell them as hamburgers later on. And yes, he would also put them through a meat grinder. He confessed to the killing of 13 people, so people were unknowingly eating human hamburgers on the side of a road stall. However, he was only convicted for 2 or 3 killings. He would target ladies of the night because usually these people were drug addicts back where he was, and they were a vulnerable population that was very easy to manipulate. He said he got a rush out of killing these people too. He would be sentenced to life in prison. He would later die in his cell in about 2016 or 2017. It was only one victim that led to his capture. Instead of being like the others not fighting back, she actually tried to escape and managed to actually successfully escape. Because of that, they got an accurate report on who this was and linked it right back to him for all these killings. This was no small dude. This guy was like 6'1", 300 pounds. If Rita Kemper didn't escape, he would not have been caught. He also admitted to tying people up with weights and throwing them into a river. Maybe this is what Sweeney Todd was based on.
The missing hiker who became a scarecrow, 24-year-old Sarah Jenkins from Columbus, Ohio, had a travel blog called Sarah Sees the World. She had just graduated from journalism and was ready to tackle the dream that she had had since she was a child, to walk alone in an extensive part of the Appalachian Mountains, and this was a big mistake. She wasn't a professional hiker, but she prepared diligently. She spent months preparing and getting ready for everything she needs for her hike. Her plan was to document every step of her journey through photos, texts, and videos. In early June, she said goodbye to her family and flew to Georgia, where her adventure would begin. When she went on her hike, her blog grew rapidly. Her posts conveyed a mixture of freedom and amazement. But one day, silence fell like a slab. There were no more updates. She didn't respond to any messages and her phone was offline. Forest rangers and police combed the area. Only the father refused to give up, and for 2 years he walked the path alone, clinging to hope that he would find her. While talking to a farmer on a rural road in West Virginia, something stopped the man. In the cornfields, he spotted a strange-looking scarecrow, wearing a hat that looks painfully familiar. He got closer and closer, and what he discovered next left him shocked and speechless. It wasn't a doll, but a human skeleton, with strands of long dark hair and a hat that looks just like Sarah's. The body was tied to a wooden cross, intertwined with rotten straw, exposed to the sun and wind as if it was part of the landscape. The police were immediately alerted. Multiple forensic analysis confirmed the unthinkable. This was the body of 24-year-old Sarah Jenkins. She was there all this time in plain sight, turned into a macabre symbol of what a dream-filled young girl once was. Nobody knows how she got there, and this case remains a mystery to this day.
On second thought, the Appalachian Mountains don't sound that good anymore. Y'all are gonna have to wish me infinity luck, cause what? You're telling me what happened? Yeah, I don't even know, bro. I'm gonna need a rocket launcher if I'm gonna go out there or something, cause...
Oh, I'm about to shatter y'all's childhood with this one. There's a rumor circulating online that Fred, Velma, Daphne, and Shaggy were all based off of real criminals who called themselves the Gang. So they weren't out here chasing monsters, they were really just running from the law. Their van called the Mystery Machine was real, and it was used for cross-state burglaries and identity scams. They operated between September in 1969 and October in 1970. It's also rumored that the show's creator met with one of the gang when they were institutionalized, and he later on got ideas for the show and created it, turning their story into something safe. Why the hell does it seem like everything's gotta be based off of something dark? There's always something more to what's going on than you realize. Now I'm sitting here wondering what other cartoons are based off of some fucked up shit. Like they were out here chasing monsters, but the whole time they were behind the wheel. This is also an urban legend, so take this with a grain of salt, y'all. But I wouldn't be surprised, because there's always some crazy stuff going on. And Hollywood likes taking inspiration from real life, so I wouldn't be surprised if this ended up being true. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this.
This you see here is actually a demon. This little devil creature you see trapped in this prism glass was captured during an exorcism in the 17th century in Germany. It is now in the Imperial Treasury of Vienna. Do you believe in demons?
Morbid Facts, Part 613. In August of 1993, 4-year-old Derek Roby had been walking alone to summer camp when 13-year-old Eric Smith lured him into the woods under the guise of showing him a new shortcut. Once they were out of sight, Smith strangled Derek until he was unconscious, brutally smashed his head with a large rock, then poured Kool-Aid into the boy's wounds. Before fleeing the scene, Smith removed one of Derek's shoes and scattered the contents of his lunchbox all around him, creating a disturbing and almost ritualistic display that baffled investigators. The child's body was found later that day, just yards from the park he never made it to. Smith later confessed and was tried as an adult despite his young age, receiving 9 years to life in prison. He was denied parole 10 times over the years, with Derek's family attending each hearing to oppose his release. After 27 years behind bars, Smith was finally granted parole in 2022, sparking debates about whether someone capable of such violence at 13 can ever truly be reformed.
Thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your favorite part of the video made you tremble in your boots, and we're going to be on to the next one.